Welcome back, guys. Take two. This is episode 5 of Let's Otaku Bout It. It's your host, Kira-kun, here with Barry-kun and
Onzo Bonzo Flonzo Shanzo, a.k.a. Onzo Bonzo.
And this week's episode is brought to you by Ballast Points Unfiltered Sculpin. Cheers, fellers.
Cheers.
Really good, really good.
It's a little hoppy.
Yeah, I guess I'm the only one who likes the hops here, so luckily I was buying this week.
It's our sponsor.
Fine, we don't pay for shit.
Oh, right, yeah. Luckily, they, I don't know what to say. Let's just jump into the first segment.
Barry-kun's Romance of the Week.
It's your boy Barry-kun. We back with another episode. Before I go into this week's Romance of the Week, I want to give a shout out to last week's Romance of the Week. Suke ga Kirei, As the Moon So Beautiful. Won Best Anime of 2017. So you guys got to start getting on this hype. All these ones I'm dropping are classics, so you need to start paying attention to these segments. Anyways, we have a special Romance of the Week. I'm actually doing it tag team with my boy Kira-kun. This week we're going over The World God Only Knows, which is basically a romance comedy harem, which is a nice change of pace from my last two recommendations. It's real lighthearted. A lot of fun. Kira-kun, do you want to jump in?
Tag me in.
Let me tag you in.
Alright. So this romance anime, like Joey Barry Barry-kun said, is a classic. I remember when I was watching it, it's 3 seasons long, and I just started watching because I was like, fuck, I'm just gonna watch whatever. I don't remember where I saw it. Might have been Crunchyroll, but I don't know. Anyways, I finished the first season. It's like really lighthearted and really funny at points. Just a standard harem, but it's entertaining. It's really good. And then as the seasons progress, though, it starts to get more serious. So basically, the whole premise is
Tag me in. So the whole plot really is there's this guy, the main character. His name's was it Kima?
Yeah.
Basically, he's known in the internet world as the god of conquest, because he is basically the expert at all the dating simulation games.
And he's
beating everyone. Tag in.
He's beat every single one. And so basically he is the god of this world. But thing is, IRL, he got no game.
Wait. Sorry, but you're about to get me going. Yeah, so basically this guy, even though he's a god in the virtual world, he hasn't had one single girlfriend in the real world. And so he receives an invitation. Just the basic plot is he receives an invitation if he wants to conquer some girls or something, right? He thinks it's just another game. So he accepts it. And it kind of just goes into this whole plot where it's about demons and... Okay, yeah, you got me.
Basically, the way these demons work is they come and they like capture lost souls, basically. And somehow these lost souls escape from hell and they enter like women's bodies and make them really sad and like go through all these problems and stuff. And the only way that they can get cured and the soul leaves their body is they fall in love. And I think they have to kiss, right?
Yeah, that's normally how it eventually they fall in love.
Yeah, so basically this demon teams up with Keima-kun and wants him to be, she hears that he's the god of conquest. She needs him to be the perfect partner because she wants to rise in the ranks in the demons or whatever. And she wants the perfect partner to capture all these lost souls that escape from hell. And so
So yeah, basically it's 3 seasons of him conquering all these different girls, making them fall in love with him, and moving on to the next.
sorry.
That was a real quick one.
Basically, it's one of the funniest parts is that in this anime, like his dating simulation experience actually helps. Like at first he's like kind of shy about it, but he starts like analyzing this stuff. Like, oh, I know her type, like her character, her archetype. Like I know exactly what to do at this point. So they fall for him hella fast.
Yeah, that's probably one of the parts I really love is that he breaks it down to like a science almost. He's like, oh yeah, she's a classic nerdy girl who is really into study, so I'm going to do this, and then it always works. Truly is the god of conquest.
So, like I was saying earlier though, the later seasons, I thought it was just like, you know, like a regular harem, but honestly, in you'll see how he does what he has to do to make them fall in love with him, and it eventually like starts taking a toll on him because like he keeps his cool and he acts like it doesn't affect him, but
yeah, let me help you out. Yeah, he acts like it doesn't affect him, but I mean, if you put in all this work with all these different girls in real life, it's a little different than in a game. So, you know, when these girls start falling for him, you know what? I see you going for the bell. I see him going for the bell, so there you go.
I was going to say something stupid here.
No, that's you. You know what? Okay, you know what? Let me tag back in. Okay, I'm going to just wrap it up. It's a really good anime. It's fun to watch. It does have its serious moments in the later season, but it's definitely worth the ride. Check it out. It probably won Best Anime in 2013 whenever it came out. Check it out.
Only classics.
Only classics.
Oh my god.
Okay. Anyways, moving on to, I guess we could move on to our next segment, can't we?
Let's do it.
All right.
How do you say that?
Don't say shit. What's up, guys? It's the Don't Say Shit. This episode on Don't Say Shit, I got here, you guys, give me a second beer. Dink. Oh, that brings me to my word. Dink, but don't forget it. Basically, it's just a sound effect whenever you score goals in FIFA or when you sock somebody in the face and you just dink, bud, lay them out. So the first time I heard this was shout out to Al, your boy now, who was telling a story about one of many, by the way, all kinds of bar fights, you know. I don't really remember the first story. They all sound the same. He dinks him and then he's out. But basically, he told a story and he was dinking him. And thing about this is he retells those stories all day. So, you know, you see the patterns. You see the patterns of the storytelling. And one time, Barry Coon was over with me at the Becerra's house, the Foo's house, and we're sitting there, and all of a sudden he comes in talking about what just happened at the bar, or what happened the night before, and he's telling a story, and he gets to the point where, you know, following those patterns, I'm accustomed to when it's gonna come. So as soon as he's gonna say he dinks him, he does a swinging motion, and at the same time that he says it, I say it too. So he's like, and then I just dink. And so I jinxed him basically, but in front of everyone. And
You know,
I know you have something to say. Go ahead.
yeah, this
Very
was
cool.
my first experience with Al, actually, by the way. I've always heard a lot of stories about him, how he's a fool. And they were proven to be true when I met him this night. Because the story he told, it wasn't a bar fight for the one he told with me. It was at a Mexican restaurant.
Oh, really? I don't remember that.
Yeah. And so what had happened was The guy called him gay or something, and he was like, "I ain't gay." And then the other guy was like, basically, long story short, I'm not gonna tell you the whole story because he went off. The guy was getting his face like saying, "What do you?" Oh, you don't remember his story. No. He said something like, "You want to make out?" It was some gay stuff, and then he was like, "Dink." Knocked dude out, ran through his pockets, yeah. And he kept saying how the guy paid for his burrito that night. That's how I remember it was at a Mexican restaurant. Like, dinked his ass, ran through his pockets.
I totally forgot about that. All right, I have another one for this episode. It's holy shit! What happened? Barry Coons.
I dinked too hard.
Barry Coons' beer. Yeah, he dinked his own beer, so
I dinked
he
that
should
ass.
get a rag while I tell this story, Onzo Bonzo.
Ooh, okay.
I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, his sweatpants absorbed it. His suit, my bad. So, this stems from Al the Foo, actually. It's got me hung. It's basically just got me fucked up. Basically, anything that we say, any phrase that we say, has an evolution, and the sound just keeps getting more and more warped. So, got me hung is got me fucked up. And I have a new coworker, and I've been training him. And I said that one time, and he's from Philadelphia, so he doesn't know, like, he doesn't know lingo around here, really. And he's like, "Oh, did you say got me hunked? I like that." Like, in Philly, we say got me chopped. So I was like, "Hey, yeah." And so I don't know if he's assuming like that's bait talk or something.
You just start saying that.
Bro, no, that's the thing is he has been saying it. Like the other day, I was just talking how stupid. He's like, "Oh, he got you hunked, huh?" Like he said it 3 times in one day. I was like, "Hey." So that was really satisfying. All right. So you guys, next time on Don't Say Shit, we have we're gonna oh yeah, this just in we're gonna check in with Onzo on last week's homework.
This is Onzo Bonzo reporting live from the field. First and foremost, a special report from a subscriber, Jay, requested Tokyo Ghoul to be reviewed. First of all, this story revolves in a world set between ghouls and humans who live, but ghouls are considered pretty much monsters, killers. And this story revolves around a character named Kaneki? Is that how you pronounce it? I'll get that later. Missing some info right now. So, he gets attacked by a ghoul, and he ends up getting ghoul organs transplanted into him for him to survive. This caused a lot of problems for him. Very obvious. He has this thirst for human flesh. And he just wants to murder. But since he is like half ghoul, half human, he has this thirst to kill, but he wants to maintain the human side of him. Because to my knowledge, he's the only half human, half ghoul. And what worries him the most is that there's this whole underground ghoul world that a lot of the human world doesn't comprehend. Like, any person can be a ghoul. Like, they're not like vampires. They could hide in broad day. The only thing that's different about them, they can't eat human food. All they need to really survive is they need to eat a human once a month, and they could drink some coffee. That's pretty much it. So, the anime just centers around this main character learning more about the world of ghouls and where he stands between them because he can be like the bridge between these two worlds and end the conflict. The first season ended on a cliffhanger mid-battle. I did not like it all. Second season, it doesn't really... I wouldn't recommend this. It's a really good anime, but it's really, really gory. Like, who's really into gory anime will really appreciate it. Whoever isn't, stay away from this one because it's not something you want to watch. So for our next report, we're going straight to Angel Beats from one one of my co-hosts' requests. This centers around the main character, Otanashi. It's set in a high school, and that's pretty much in purgatory. Right from the beginning, we know all these characters are pretty much dead. They're just waiting for their next life to start. But when the main character enters this scene, all the other students, they're fighting off some person called Angel, who's pretty much serves as a student council president. So near the beginning of the season, it's obvious that the main goal is to find and defeat Angel and maybe find some way out of purgatory. But what surprised me out of this anime was how sad a lot of it was. I was expecting like some high school setting where it's all cheerful, but no, everyone's dead and everyone is there's a reason why everyone's dead. Like they're all of them had a lot of traumatic events and it really rips at them. So but the good thing is when one of them feels content and is happy with their life, they'll pretty much vanish. It's like this setting set for like them to deal with the life problems they had that caused them to get to purgatory, and it's just another way to like pretty much cleanse their soul and get ready for the next life that they're bound to live. But what I didn't like about it is that there is some like plot holes to it. They don't explain a reason like why. Like the main character Angel, she in the season finale, I don't want to spoil it. Pretty much they don't reveal her background to her, which I felt was really important for it to like be a complete story. And I just felt that they should have included some details to why she was there in the first place. But really good anime, recommend it to anybody. And next report, 91 Days. This anime centers around Angelo and his family. Right from the beginning, Angelo sees his family get destroyed, straight murdered. Right when he's a kid, he's hiding in the closet, he sees them get gunned down. So he vows revenge on the people who did it, who happen to be members of the mafia. This is set like in the 1920s, 1930s, Prohibition era. And what I liked about this anime was that they really captured like the Prohibition era with the art, with the music. It felt like something that you'd see like from like old films. So the story about him integrating himself into not only the mafia that killed his family, but the mafia that are also in the same city, which I think is Illinois. This of course involves a lot of other characters, but I felt the most important was like the three main characters were Cordio, Nero, and Angela, who goes as Anvilo. But a lot of it is really, really gory. I don't want to spoil it, but if you like Tokyo Ghoul, check out this one too. And that's it for this week. I'll catch you guys next week. So, back to you.
Nice. Dude. Wow, that was a really good report. I don't think I've ever said anything in depth like that. That was a really good report.
Hey, I do my job well.
Good shit, Onzo. All right, now to the main topic of this week's podcast is FullMetalAlchemist Brotherhood. If you don't know, there's FullMetalAlchemist Brotherhood and FullMetalAlchemist. My coworker recommended me FullMetalAlchemist Brotherhood because it follows more closely the manga's plotline and stays true to the manga. FullMetalAlchemist Brotherhood is in the top 5. I'm almost positive it's like number 1 in my animes. It's been there for who knows how the fuck long.
So long.
Classic.
And I think it's really deserving. To be honest, when people ask me like my favorite anime, like top 3, top 5, it's really hard, when you dwindle it down to like 5 or 3 animes when you've seen so much to say pick out your favorites. But so I struggle, but one thing I don't struggle with is placing FullMetalAlchemist Brotherhood in that top 5, in that top 3. I don't know, I don't know where, but I know it has to be there, and it's really deserving of that ranking.
I'd probably give it 1.
Yeah.
Honestly, just because there's very few animes where I could say, like, honestly, like, it's flawless.
Yeah.
And even this one, no, I honestly can't find a flaw with
Dude,
it.
yeah, if I'm going to recommend an anime to somebody, I'm going to recommend them this one.
Considering how in-depth this story gets and how well they tell this story, 60 episodes or like 64 or something that is told in is not much. And it's surprising because it's paced really well.
It is. Yeah, 60 is 64 something like that.
Something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely in the mid
But it's
60s.
every episode is like a different story, and it's intertwined so well that you just need to finish it to really appreciate it.
Yeah.
It all ties in to give you the bigger picture at the end.
So basically, this anime is about Edward and Alphonse Elric. They're two brothers who lose their mother to an illness, and in this world that they live in, alchemy is like a thing that people do. Like, you know, everyone wants to find the Philosopher's Stone, find the secret to eternal life, and also alchemy is just a part of daily life. Like, every country has alchemists that they use in the military. And so these two kids who are great at alchemy for their age, you know, they figure, you know what, we're gonna bring our mom back. So they study all these alchemy books and practice, and they finally think they have the answer. But shit does not go how they planned.
Because as they know, it's pretty common rule in this anime, in this world, that human transmutation is strictly taboo. I think when they do it, they don't know why. They just
Yeah, they
Fuck
just know
it.
it's like the one mortal sin of
Yeah.
alchemy.
but they find out why.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, they really bring back a corpse. Like, and I like the Brotherhood scene because I compared it to the FullMetalAlchemist. I haven't seen, I should say. But I've been told that it's a lot more like shonen-y, like as far as like appealing to little kids, like with the slapstick humor and stuff. But that scene was just insane. I think it's the second episode where they
Yeah.
it's the second episode where they
Like,
bring
they
in like
bring you in
the story.
quick.
Yeah, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, this is insane. So what happens is with alchemy, you know, it's kind of like the what's that fucking that scientific law, whatever. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Yeah.
It's basically like
Einstein.
yeah. It's
Newton.
Yeah, Newton.
Newton.
Newton's third law or something.
Yeah, something like that. You guys getting a quick science lesson.
Anyways, yeah. But basically, when you do alchemy, there has to be an exchange, an equal exchange. So when they bring back their mom, Ed and Al lose a part of themselves. Alphonse loses his whole fucking body. So you just see his clothes on the ground, and Edward loses an arm.
He uses his leg first.
He loses
Right.
his leg, but he gives up his arm to save his brother.
Right, to bring him back. And the way he does that, you know, he can't bring his body back, so he grabs a full male armor that's happens to be there. So
in the basement.
Yeah.
So Jesus, with his like leg bleeding out, he draws these alchemy symbols on the armor and brings his brother in there.
Just
and
his
then
soul.
Right, his soul, and so he becomes a walking suit of armor, and you hear like, you know, his baby voice stays with him, like that little kid voice.
Yeah.
And so, oh man.
And basically, what we wanted to do, we didn't want to go too in depth with it, because we're gonna start doing a new format that we'll cover soon. But basically, from there on out, it just kind of goes on their journey.
To get their bodies back.
To get their bodies back, get back to normal.
Right.
And a lot of shit happens in between.
It is not easy. Journey.
No, it's not. And it's a wild ride, and it's definitely every episode is like a lot of animes. There's a lot of filler and stuff, but even the filler in this, it didn't feel like filler. Like every episode, something happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was always a part of the story there.
Even in the
Yeah.
fillers, there's like character development.
Yes, something that just builds up the main story.
Yeah, it's really good. So yeah, the next episode we're gonna be talking a little bit more about FullMetalAlchemist Brotherhood.
It will contain spoilers
So
if you haven't watched it.
heads up for that. Watch it and then listen, and then watch it if you don't care about getting stuff spoiled.
We will really hype you up on it on the next episode. Once you find out some of these scenes,
Yeah.
I guarantee you'll want to
Promise.
see it if you haven't.
Promise, pinky promise.
But that kind of just goes into real quick. We are gonna start. We decided to change up our format. Instead of doing these 40-minute bi-weekly episodes, we're trying to shorten it and kind of post weekly, more content, less length, and then we'll just kind of briefly go over it the first time around, and then go more in depth about a certain topic the next week. So, like we said, as for next week, we will be covering FullMetalAlchemist and go more in depth about it.
All right.
I think that about wraps it up, guys.
All right. Any plugs before we close this off?
I
Shout-outs?
just want to give a
Shout-outs?
quick shout out to our new 30th subscriber, Andy. Andy Hahn. I'll just give you a full shout out because I know you're listening. We fucks with you. You will be getting a care package as well. Just don't know when.
Check the mail. We're not sure when, but check
sometime in the next week to 6 months. It'll come.
Keep an eye out.
But that's about it.
What? You got a shout out?
Nah, I don't got any shout out tonight.
Okay,
Maybe
I got a
next
shout
week.
out. She asked for me not to shout her out because she heard the last episode and was disappointed that her name got brought up by Ash Crack Story. So here's your shout out for this episode. Shout out to B. Still really loves the artwork. There's one little thing you could add, but we'll not get into that. But anyways, really sick. Check out her art. She's mostly on Instagram now. She used to have a website, but follow Pushing Too Many Pencils. That's pushing _TOO_many_pencils with a Z. So check out her art. Really abstract, really demented, twisted. She's really good at self-expression, so just check it out. It's really cool.
You won't be disappointed.
She did our profile pic if you want to have a sample of what she did. A lot of talents.
Yeah, check her out. To wrap this up, recommendations for Onzo Bonzo for next week?
Shit. I wasn't ready for this.
I was ready for it to slip.
I'm ready. So let me toss it at you, Onzo. As the Moon So Beautiful.
And you just want me to fall in love with rom-coms.
You will fall in love.
And on that note, that's the end of this episode. But peace though, peace. See you next week.
Peace though,
Peace though, peace.
Peace up.